Starting in a child's pose, when we're ready, we're going to come on up and meet in a downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lifting the left leg, exhaling knee to chest. Extending on the inhale, crunching on the exhale. 2 more times, drawing the knee in, inhaling backwards, exhaling forwards. And now on the next inhale, rolling forwards into a plank, lowering the knees, taking the left knee out to the side, coming into a modified side plank. Exhaling knee to elbow, inhaling, extending, exhaling and crunching everything inwards. 2 more of those, drawing the knee to the elbow, then extending long, then taking the right hand back down towards the mat, taking the feet back to plank, exhaling, taking the left foot forwards, inhaling, drawing up, then taking the hands behind, drawing the chest forwards, taking the center of gravity slightly forwards into our arrow lunge, challenging the front hamstrings and the glute muscles. Inhaling, drawing the hands back up overhead, stepping through with the right leg, keeping the foot off of the floor, and just challenging the balance here for a moment. Flexing the foot, reaching through the fingers, and then taking the foot down. Inhaling, reaching, exhaling, folding forwards. Drawing the chest up halfway, then taking the hands down, stepping back to plank, lowering to chaturanga, inhaling up dog, exhaling, taking the hips back to a downward facing dog. Then on the inhale, drawing the right leg up, knee to chest, inhaling and extending, exhaling knee to chest. Keeping 3 more of those. Exhaling, drawing in, inhaling and extending before taking the foot all the way up, back to downward facing dog. Rolling forwards into plank, lowering the knees into our modified side plank. Once again, on the exhale, drawing the knee and the elbow together, and then inhaling, reaching them apart. Exhaling, crunching. Inhaling and reaching. 2 more of those. Inhaling, reaching, and then taking the hand back down to the mat, stepping back to plank, taking the right foot forwards, inhaling, reaching up into a high lunge, then drawing the hands behind, taking the chest forwards, finding our arrow lunge, and just challenging the right hamstrings and glutes. Reaching through the fingers. On the next inhale, stepping the left foot forwards all the way through, flexing the feet, reaching down through the hands or maybe taking them up overhead. Finding the balance point. Squeezing the abs. Breathing in deeply. Before allowing everything to relax, taking the feet down to the floor. Folding forwards, inhaling, lifting the chest. Exhaling, stepping back to high plank, lowering to chaturanga. Inhaling, reaching the chest forwards, and then exhaling, taking the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Inhaling and extending the leg, exhaling knee to nose. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling knee to nose. 3 more of those. Rolling forwards into plank on the inhale, exhaling, coming over into our side plank, reaching upwards with the right hand, and you can balance on the outer edge of the left foot here, or you can take the right foot down towards the mat for a little bit more balance. Breathing in, pressing the hips upwards, and then exhaling, taking the hands down to the mat for a regular plank. Stepping the left foot forwards, inhaling, reaching up into high lunge. On the exhale, taking the weight fully into the left foot, and then taking the chest parallel to the floor, coming forwards into our warrior three. Reaching back through the hands, squeezing the abs, squeezing the glute to lift that lifted foot higher. And then taking the foot forwards, keeping it off of the floor. We're going to take the knee forwards, taking hold of the lifted foot with the peace fingers, and then maybe seeing about extending it long out in front. Breathing in deeply, keeping the back as straight as possible, maybe drawing the shoulder blades together. Reaching through the ball of the foot before releasing the feet down to the floor. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards. Inhaling, lifting the chest before stepping back to plank. Exhaling down to chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Then pressing down into the mat, hips up into downward facing dog. Inhaling to extend, exhaling knee to nose. Keeping that movement going at your own breathing pace. Exhaling, drawing inwards. 2 more times. Inhaling and extending. And then taking the leg all the way up before back down to downward facing dog. Rolling forwards into high plank. And this time coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. Pressing the hips up. Hand reaches upwards into side plank. Squeezing the abs. Pressing the hips forwards. Reaching through the fingers. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling, hand back down to floor. And we're going to step the left foot forwards. Taking the hands up into high lunge before drawing the weight into that left foot. Taking the chest forwards parallel with the ground. Finding our warrior three. Reaching back through the fingers, finding that point of balance, squeezing the glute to keep the leg lifted. Breathing in deeply. On the exhale, drawing the knee through, maybe taking hold of the toes with the peace finger and extending the leg long in front. Drawing the shoulder blades together, keeping a nice straight back. Reaching through the fingers of the free hand. And then releasing the foot, inhaling, reaching upwards. Exhaling, folding forwards. On the inhale, drawing the chest up halfway. Stepping back to plank. Exhaling to chaturanga. Inhaling, lifting the chest for upward facing dog. Exhaling, taking the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now, on the next inhale, extending the left leg all the way back and up behind us. And then on the exhale, drawing the knee to the right elbow. Inhaling and extending. Exhaling, knee to elbow. 3 more of those. Inhaling and extending. Exhaling, knee to elbow. And taking the foot all the way up and back to downward facing dog. On the inhale, rolling forwards into plank. And then coming over into our side plank. On the next inhale, lifting the top foot. This is our right foot. Reaching through the fingers, maybe flexing the foot. Then taking the hand back down to the mat. stepping the left foot forwards. On the inhale, we're going to reach upwards into high lunge. And then taking the hands down to the mat, lifting the right foot all the way up behind us, squeezing the glute to take it as high as possible, drawing the chest as close to the standing leg as possible, reaching back and up through the lifted foot before taking it into the chest. On the next inhale, lifting up in front, exhaling, taking the foot out, extending it long in front, squeezing the quad to keep it lifted, reaching through the fingers, breathing in deeply here and keeping the foot up on the exhale. Taking the foot down to the floor, inhaling, reaching upwards, exhaling, folding forwards, inhaling, drawing the chest up halfway, exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back to plank, exhaling, lowering to chaturanga, inhaling, lifting the chest, exhaling, taping the hips all the way back and up, inhaling, right foot up, exhaling, knee to left elbow, inhaling and extending, exhaling, drawing the knee to the elbow. 2 more times. Exhaling, crunching, inhaling, reaching. And then feet back to the floor, rolling forwards into our high plank. Coming over into our side plank, reaching the left hand up, inhaling, lifting the left foot, flexing the foot at the ankle, pressing the hips forwards, reaching through the left hand, finding that point of balance. Breathing in deeply, exhaling fully. And then taking the left hand back down to the mat, coming into high plank, stepping the right foot forwards, finding the balance, and then on the next inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, taking them down to the mat and lifting the left foot upwards behind, squeezing the left glutes to lift the foot as high as possible, drawing the chest as close to the standing leg as we can, squeezing, lifting the left foot and keeping the balance with the hands on the mat. On the next inhale, we're going to draw the left foot all the way through, keeping the foot off of the floor, taking the chest upright and extending the leg out in front, pressing through the right foot, keeping the body upright, reaching through the fingers, flexing the foot, taking it down to the mat, inhaling, reaching upwards, exhaling, folding forwards, inhaling, lifting the chest, exhaling, planting the hands, stepping back to plank, lowering to chaturanga, inhaling, lifting the chest, exhaling, taking the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. And just to close the practice today, we're going to slowly take the knees down to the mat, drawing the hips back into our child's pose. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.